Back to work, back to work. Well, okay. A little while ago I posted a video which was this one right here. A whole bunch of fun anime challenges. So, which kind of culminated with Mr. Big walking into the room. Okay, well, here's the deal. One thing I've learned in the process of doing this project is that if it's not working, you cannot suffice. You can't say, well, it's good enough. There are some things that are good enough because literally you won't see them. Okay, if things are moving fast on the screen, there are things you can get away with, you know, because you really won't see them. But this walk cycle that Mr. Big was doing was not working. It was simply not good enough. And I'll show you right here. This, he looks like a chicken walking around. It's stupid. Looks stupid. Okay, so what I did was I realized that to draw somebody walking from overhead, you kind of need two layers, actually. Two levels, if you will. Because you want one level that shows the and he's wearing a cloak, which does make my job a little easier, but so you want this motion of him walking, and then what I did was I drew one drawing of his head, and then I just put a little rotation on it. I think this looks like much better. Now, one thing I do want to try just to see is what if I reverse the angles of turn here. I want to see if that looks more natural. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. So I'm guessing. So he's going to lean into his steps, as it were. So there we go. Okay, and then ostensibly we probably could have him stop here. He's probably going to stop on shot 70. And yeah, so now we got to take a few more steps. What we need to do, well, we're going to have to ink it, and then we're going to have to take the whole thing and then shrink it down and then do the animation of it coming into the room. So yeah, I mean, it's definitely a little more work. It's not that much work. This should be reasonably quick to do. So I'm going to hit the B key, and okay, let's, why it wouldn't, okay, there it is. Okay, so now what I think I want is, I want pencil, I want pressure off. We're going for the alias lines, and for this cloak, essentially we're just going to have, and I'm actually going to turn on the fill check. Okay, B, there it is. Okay, so now we just have to go through and crank out these frames, and then there's just the one single drawing on the of his upper part of his body. So let's just go through and put these keys in here. Okay. And you see that little dot that's running around? I know, that's kind of silly, isn't it? You really don't want that in there. So I actually don't even know if there's a, how do you tell OpenTunes to, I mean, you can, okay, I could have put my dot out here where you can't see it, but how you get OpenTunes to add a new frame without actually touching the screen. I'm not even sure. There's probably a hotkey for that. I just never happened to figure that one out. So, okay, so here we go. Let's rock and roll. I'm just going to follow these. They don't have to be spot on, ridiculously amazing, but they need to be kind of sort of halfway decent. If this does not make sense to you, it will when we're done. So as you can see, this is going to go pretty fast. In fact, I'm going to try to use the frame range option when I fill it, just to see if I can make things go even faster. Now, the scenario that the guy is in is a fairly dark room, so we don't have to have a lot of gorgeous detail on this. But I'm really confident this is going to look way better than what I had before. At least I'm really sure he's not going to look like some kind of chicken strutting around. And this is supposed to be Mr. Big. Mr. Big cannot look like a doggone chicken. Am I right? Of course I am. That would be ludicrous for Mr. Big to look like a chicken. So yeah, if you were one of those people who actually saw the video I posted earlier today, you probably were thinking, wait a second, Dave, that guy looks like a chicken the way he's walking. What's up with that, man? Okay, much better, much better. So that means this drawing, this set of drawings, can be deleted. Honestly, why would I keep this around? Goodbye. Oops. Okay. So now what we're going to do is we're going to add a new color, and we're going to make it kind of a burgundy. We're going to use the fill tool. We are going to use frame range. Click here. Click here. And frame range doesn't seem to be working, even though it is checked, which is kind of irritating, I must say. Frame range. Yeah, forget it. Okay. And now this is just going to be black. His little ruby slippers are not ruby slippers, they're obsidian slippers or ebony slippers or something like that, I suppose. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, so that was pretty time economical. Okay, so now we've got this top part of our character, and I guess what we want to do is let's insert a column, a level. Let's hit the B key. Please, let's hit the B key. Okay. And I'm just going to trace this. And we're going to actually do a little cheat here. You'll see in a minute how I cheat. Okay. Gotta get the outline of this guy's head. Okay, so now we got his head in there. Alright, so now we have to get this action which kind of represents his arms are basically, he's got his arms confidently behind his back, right? Okay. Okay. Check that with the fill check tool. Then what I'm going to do is, I better double check this just to be safe. Okay, Mr. Big has a collar that's gold, and I think he's got a tassel around the bottom that's gold, but we wouldn't be able to see this in this shot, so that's fine. So what we need to do here is put a little bit of a border here, and a little indicator of his tassel-y thing here. Okay, so we want Control C, VV. Okay, actually, what we could do, let's try it this way. Let's grab this drawing, Control C. Alright, and now we're going to go into this level, literally erase everything, hit the S key and hit Control V. Okay, it was tempting to turn that, but remember that the Animate tool has already been used on there. So let's we'll just call that a temporary level. So Control C, VV. This is going to be kind of our burgundy color, and what I'm going to do is turn this on so that in this level we can just hit the R key and sample this. Okay, so now that's exactly the correct color, and I'm going to actually make this the same color and then rotate it around into the range of kind of gold, yeah, about like that. Okay, so now we can turn this level back off, and all we need to do here is fill. Okay, turn frame range off, normal areas. Whoops, my bad. Okay, what just happened? Let's cut this color. I don't know if this is going to work. Okay, this is just, what we're seeing right now is just stupider than a box of rocks. Okay, I created the colors in the wrong level. Just stupid. Stupid, stupid, stupid. Not paying attention. Alright. Fix it. Fix it. Okay. Sorry about that, folks. I get irritated when I do stuff that's like patently dumb, which I guess is probably kind of understandable. So here we go. Now we're going to go Fill Tool. The goofy frame range option that never actually works is turned off. Now we got this, and I guess to be really accurate, we probably need some kind of flesh tone, don't we? Alright, so there's that. And then what we're going to do is make that flesh tone kind of on the dark side. Like so. Push it maybe a little more in the pink range. Maybe a little bit lighter. Okay, so now I can live with that. So now what we're going to do is we're going to take okay, this is actually going to be a little tricky. Right now it's playing on 12, so I need to jump that back up to 24, and then this whole sequence needs to be cells step 2. Okay, and then I'm guessing the whole sequence should probably roll twice. Okay, now if that's correct, okay, that was probably a mistake. Oh no, okay, that's okay. I was thinking maybe it was going to ripple the keyframes, but it isn't. So technically this should actually be the exact same keyframe as before. So on 82, Control V, and then here in the middle of the walk cycle, Control V, and now I should have a good 24 frame per second walk cycle on 2s. Okay, that looks pretty good. Alright, so no complaints so far. So now what we're going to do is okay, I'm going to call this MB head. I'm going to call this MB bod. MB stands for Mr. Big. Okay. Not bad, not bad. Do we want 3 of them? Well, the whole thing, yeah, I think we do. I think we want 3 of these cycles. We said that 65 was the first frame. And so let's just go ahead and add one more iteration of it. Control C, Control V. Yes. And then actually what we want, we decided he was going to stop on 70, didn't we? So what we really need to do is put it in here again, but this time stop on 70. So boom. That stops on 70, so I believe that's going to be when he's going to actually just stop and stand there. So let's extend Mr. Big's head all the way down here. And now this came right after frame 82. So we copy that there. And this is our other extreme, which comes in that blank spot. Okay, and now if we run it to the end, I'm saving my work, by the way. Okay, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, I can live with that. Alright, that's a fairly leisurely walk. And now, we are going to have to put a shadow layer on this guy. So, let's insert this. And I want to keep this really simple. He's going to need a shadow underneath as well. But I think for our purposes, he's going to be turned this... tell you what, let's just call this MB shadow. Now, I'm probably going to collapse these down into a sub-X sheet, actually. It would probably be a little easier. But... yeah, I redid the chicken walk cycle. Check it out. This is probably a little more effective, don't you think? Kind of a lot better than what it was before. So we don't like Mr. Big looking like a chicken. No, we don't. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to just insert a frame and create a key. And then what I'm going to do is the same thing I did before. All right. So, what did I do before? Well, I took, we'll call this MB move. Okay, so now we're going to take MB move, and that's going to be the source of our animation. And so we want to take MB head and go to MB move. We want to take MB shadow and connect it, because the shadow is going to move with him, and we want MB's body to go with him. Okay, so now what that means is on this level we can go ahead and do some translations and get this whipped into shape. So I'm hitting the animate tool. I'm going to put the center for Mr. Big underneath him, and then we'll just scale him down until he's kind of in the zone of the size he needs to be. And by the way, I am aware that Mr. Big is kind of, we're looking at him from directly above, and these guys were kind of not. I'm well aware of that. Okay. That we're going to basically live with. Okay. So now, when he gets here, We're going to put him here. Well, I guess we'll go like this. I don't know if this is really quite the best thing, but let's just roll with that and see how it feels. Now, the one problem I have is I kind of feel like Mr. Big is a little too small. So let's just check. I'm just going to do it by feel. So let's see if I get lucky. Okay, yeah, dumber than dumb. Okay. So it control U. Yeah, I mean, linear's okay, but he should be walking this way. Yeah, that's fine. So now the question is he going to be sliding? Nah. If he's okay, now this is going to be a dyslexia moment right here, I'm sure. But let's give it a crack. Okay. Here's the deal. If he's sliding, dyslexia moment. If he's sliding, that means he's covering too much ground. So I think to fix it, we just move him closer. Let's try that. Yes! There we go. Okay, cool. So now if we go back, let's go ahead and rotate him around this way. Actually, you know what? I'm going to get more creative with it. I'm going to put him here. And I'm going to just go ahead and do some things here. With the animation keys. So right here. I think he should still be pointed more that way. So, okay. Okay, the only thing I object to is that at the end he takes too big of a skip. So, and that's cool because actually I don't want him that close to her anyway. So let's go. Yeah, that looks amazing. Well, okay, maybe not amazing, but it looks pretty good. I like it. Okay, file, save all. Okay, so now what do we need? We need to put a shadow on this guy right here. And did I already patch the shadow? I did. Okay, so that means that if I go ahead and put a sort of simplistic shadow, now the basic problem I'm going to have is that the shadow is going to it's the same problem I had before. The shadow is going to rotate with him, which is a little problematic. So tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to go File, Preferences, and yeah, I have to be finished here in less than 5 minutes. So in my preferences, I'm going to change XSheet, no, drawing. I'm going to turn off auto creation. And all that does is it lets me go down here where he's well into the frame where I can see him. Like this. And go ahead and draw my shadow here. So, and it's not going to add a new drawing. So boom, I'm going to add this. Actually, I'm going to use this marker. Alright, and what I want to do here is I just want to kind of go like this. Okay, color. So I'm essentially using the I'm using the shadow on his body as also his cast shadow. So, alright, so now I'm going to use the animate tool, and I'm only going to use rotation. And I'm going to actually adjust that. Okay. Got to make it match the others. So now what I need to do is just go through and match the keys. Okay, cut. Wrong. Let's go back. Go back here. Dumb mistake. This needs to be centered on Mr. Big. Duh. Okay, so rotate. Animate tool. Okay, so now what we want to do is just make sure that anywhere there's a key in the controller level, we want to make sure there's also a key in this level. Okay, just so we kind of keep things under control. Alright, so I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that should have done the trick. Okay. So yeah, the only thing I would say, and I think the fix is just to do a quick erase. Okay, so I'm going to go in to this level right here with the eraser, and I'm just gonna cut this in a little bit. Okay, and again, kind of hoping I get lucky. Boom. Okay, and then right here, I'm going to make a slight adjustment to the animation key for this particular frame, just to slide that shadow up a little bit. Just a little corrective measure. Here, I guess we could move it back slightly. That one's okay. That one's okay. File, save all. Okay, so having done that, we kind of saved some time by putting the cast shadow and the body shadow on the same level. So it should be the case that things kind of look good now. Let's give it a crack. Look at that. Oh my gosh, that's so much better. That is so much better than what I had before. I'm just freaking out. So now I'm actually going to turn down this level that is sort of a lighting correction. I'm going to put it like that, and look at that. Yeah, I think the boss is going to like this better. So anyway, that's it. How long did that take? Just about a half an hour. Just about a half an hour to completely redo this shot and have it look way freaking better. So time well spent, I say. Alright, that's it for now, and I'm sure, as you guys know, there will be more later. Back to work, back to work. Well,
kill this.
Okay.
Hold on, I gotta kill this.
A little while ago I posted a video.
Stop. Okay, so that was not actually live streamed. That was recorded earlier, so little deception on my part. But here I am. I just didn't want to recreate all that and post a video and blah blah blah. So that brings us to hello. Oh, I see. We're in preview mode. Okay, so yep, that's looking pretty good. And what I want to do now is jump up out of the sub-act sheet. And okay, so Oxer, yeah, exactly, out of the matrix, man. Okay, so this is, I'll answer your questions, and I'm putting in subtitles so you can kind of get the story. That shot needs to be replaced, by the way. It's kind of stupid. It actually needs to be this guy walking, not some guy running. But it was a really good exercise, doing the run cycle. Yeah. So anyway, so according to Blender, right now we're at almost 3.5 minutes. Okay, so when I go in here, in this set of, this, whatever you want to call it, animatic or animated storyboard, most of the keyframes have been done. As you can see from the dialogue stuff in Blender, a lot of this dialogue is simply static shots where I just took a couple images and maybe put them in a different order, but it's just dialogue, so going in here, so I'm up to 69, and I think I figured out that there's about 2.5 minutes of content based on these frames, and now we have all this that still has to be done. All this has to be expanded out. Some of it needs additional keyframes, but that goes to here. Okay, so we have all this stuff. It probably would look better if I put the backgrounds in there, by the way. But yeah, so we got all of this wonderful cartoon that's going to have to be cut into the show. And then that's like only half of it, because we've got the back half of the battle, which is all this stuff. Continues on from where we just left off in that animatic. So all this stuff, which you guys saw me originally animating and inking and painting quite some time ago, this goes on for 140 frames. Not all of these frames are shots, but a lot of them are. Okay, and so now at this point, so there's 144 keyframes, and then there's probably going to be at least that much again afterwards, after that this sequence ends. So the upshot of it is that there's it's not a mini webisode kind of thing. I mean, it's a full-blown, it's looking to me more and more like a full-blown 24-minute episode. So that's great. No problem. We'll just rock and roll and keep going and get her done. So if I were to continue, I'm debating with myself right now, do I want to continue? Because I've done quite a bit today. I actually redid this run cycle, which, like I said, it looks pretty good. The problem is it makes no sense. It doesn't make sense for this guy to be running, and then who shows up? Mr. Big strolls in. So that's stupid. So I'm gonna have to redo this, as instead of a run cycle, it needs to be a walk cycle with Mr. Big. So the next thing on the agenda is this shot. And looks like that's essentially a one-framer, so I need to look at what the dialogue is. Oh, I see. Yeah, so while Mr. Big's coming in, she's saying, let's take the backgrounds out here too, and then turn on the dialogue. Okay, so when she hears Mr. Big come in, she says, you are so in trouble now, to the ninjas, and she says Zen. Well, she doesn't realize that it's Mr. Big that walked in the room. It's not Zen. So it's about time you showed up. You nearly missed all the fun. And then she hears humph and realizes, wait a second. Indeed. Zen. And on it goes. So that's what's coming up next. So I think I'm going to go ahead and stop there because, like I said, I'm really not wanting to continue today. I've put in quite a few hours and stuff. So anyway, but hey, thanks folks for being here. And I've been posting, gosh, I think yesterday I posted 3 videos. I posted like 2.5 hours of stuff. So if you're interested in animating with OpenToons, you're gonna get a handful of it here. So so let's call it a day. Thanks for watching and listening, and I will be back tomorrow. I don't think I'll be live streaming, but I might. You never know. I haven't adhered to a schedule on the whole live streaming thing. Yeah, You bet, Oxer. I mean, I wrote your name down. Darn it, I always forget. Sorry about that, man. I'm just gonna say Oxer. Okay. But yeah. You're welcome, and I will be back.